Okay, so we are on live now. Okay, the objective of this is to understand the process involved completely from the onboarding of staff to the offboarding. So we will be going through the extensively like what I've been doing with respect to the the onboarding of the staff and the offboarding of the staff. Okay. So
Okay.
first, hello. Okay. The first year is there is an app here which we have the employee profile. When it is confirmed that the employee is joining us, so this record will be created here. Okay. This record will have all the details of the staff, when they are joining and what is the join date, and all the details of the important thing we need to know their example. If I take a look at this.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Ash.
Okay. So the important
Okay.
thing from this record is we need to get to know what is the first name and what is the last name, because this is
Okay.
important that we would be creating the account based on the declared the first name and the last name. And we also need the phone number, mobile number, which will go into their signature. And we also need their date of birth, so that will go into the uh, some of the tools that we will be creating for them. Okay. So after we get the basic details from here, so we will move into our checklist. Okay. The first checklist actually we should be looking at is the pre-commencement IT. Okay. This checklist to be set up even before 3 days of they joining us. Okay. The first thing we need to know is whether are they be given the company laptop, or they would be using their own laptop.
Okay.
If they
Yeah.
would be using their own,
Lawrence,
yeah,
Lawrence, can I
I
interject and maybe just give JP a background on how this is done practically when someone is joining? So JP, you will notice that the first step, I'll integrate this with how operations is doing it, because overarching these checklists actually is the operations checklist. So first thing, you will notice that there will be a Skype group that is created. So in the Skype group, IT will now be included, so that's you. So in that Skype group, I will be announcing that JP, the app for the information, employee information is already here. So I'll send you the link, and then you
Okay.
click the app. That was the app that was that Lawrence was talking about a while ago. And then after that Skype group, usually I will call an onboarding meeting for that employee, and then we will look at all the checklists, and then that's the trigger for you to start the IT checklist already. Lawrence is right. Um, at the minimum, at least 3 days before the staff is joining, but usually we start it earlier so that we don't get any hiccups when the staff is already uh, nearly joining.
Okay.
There. Yep.
okay,
Carry on, Lawrence.
okay. Thanks, Ash, covering that. Okay, so basically
Mm-hmm.
after we get to know that it's a confirm that we would need to create them for the accounts. As I said, the first two things you need to arrive is whether they would be given a company laptop or they would be using their own laptop. If
Hmm.
they are using their own laptop, then you need to get an access to their laptop and see what are the tools that the tools as an employee, full-time employee, they should have on their laptop. Okay? So you need to kind of audit their laptop, understand whether the laptop is good enough to work with respect to the the software and hardware and all this thing. The next step is after the second step is if you know that the company, the employee will be given a company laptop, the company laptop need to be set up. Most of the existing laptop is already been set up, but you should also take a look at it to understand whether any other new tools that need to be added and any other existing tools that we no longer use to be removed from the laptop. Okay? If
Okay.
it is a if it is a new laptop, it's a complete setup. You need to set up completely right from the Windows account to see that all the recommended tools have been installed on that laptop.
Okay.
Am I clear? Okay. So once
Yes.
that is assessed, this we will go into this a checklist here. Okay. We
Actually,
will go.
Lawrence, I have one question. Sorry.
Yeah.
Say, for example, the employee, the new staff will be using his or her own laptop, and it does
Mhm.
not meet the minimum requirements that we have set. By the way, do we have a guideline for the specs, or do we have something that we have set for as the minimum requirement for own laptops?
We have not set anything in a written guidelines, but as I've been checking, I've been at least making sure they have a 2 MB or 4 MB of RAM, okay, and the laptop is
Only
good
device.
enough, the hard disk capacity. Basically, what I do is I look at my existing laptop, the company laptops we have, you know, whether it actually is good enough to meet that level of company laptop standard. Okay, so
Okay.
then maybe
So
the
it's
Windows
on
7 is a
our
good.
okay. So it's on our discretion to decide whether the laptop is capable or not.
Come again, JP?
Say if I say if I see that the laptop has 2 gig RAM, but
Hmm.
in my opinion, it's slow and will not
Okay.
accommodate the many tabs that we have in Chrome, the multiple windows that we have open at the same time. Then what do we do? Do we recommend
We
to use our
escalate.
own laptop?
Yeah, I think, but basically you need to escalate to the mark. Say that we have an issue with this own laptop, and this is not even meeting our minimum requirements. It would be difficult to work by us because the amount of tools we have and the expected the capacity. So
Okay.
then an alternate can be sought whether to give him a company laptop or get him a new laptop or whatever it is. Okay,
Okay.
move on.
Yeah.
Okay. So when an confirmed employee, say the permanent employee, the minimum emails you should have is the Hinome Global starting, then the Hinome Portal and the Amton P. Okay.
Okay.
And those accounts need to be created. When you create these accounts, you also need to, after you creating the account on the HostGator, you need to go back to the web portal and then send and receive and see that there is no block by sending the email from your email to the webmail and the webmail acknowledgement. I do back and forth and to make sure that the email is working on the web level.
Okay.
Then the Gmail account. The Gmail account is it's a basic because we would be creating based on the .work Gmail account, like a Podio accounts and some of the accounts. So you need to have the created .work Gmail account for them. So when you are creating the .work Gmail account, the standard is the first name, dot last name, and the .work word should appear. Okay, should not miss it.
Okay.
Okay, and then when you are setting up a password for the email, I generally use the random numbers, the 4 digits, alphanumeric, then maybe the first name, to then the followed by the numeric. Okay, this is the standard across the company we have been following. So do not deviate unless there is an instructions to use your own way of creating the passwords. Clear?
Okay.
Even
Okay.
after the Gmail account is created, .work Gmail account is created, you need to log in, and there are the minimum settings that need to be done is that .work Gmail account, if they are using the Outlook as the client. So the dot work Gmail account email, you will not, the employee need not to go and log in and check each time. Instead of that, that should be forwarded to the dot innomglobal.com email account, so that if you are using any dot work email account for some reasons, so that email should get forwarded to the innomglobal.com email account. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. So then we have the, I covered this Innom Global email account, I've covered the portal, and then I've covered the Anton Peak email account. This is the general, but maybe, so you got to still check actually whether does he need a Hampton Peak email account. Maybe he has nothing to do with Hampton Peak email account. So you need to check before creating this, and yes, he need it, then you can create this account. Okay. So the next step is, after we create the email account, and then we need to create two things. That's the one is the Skype account. When you are creating a Skype account, we will be using the dot work actually. The Skype name, the like the same first name dot last name, and the dot work, we will be using it, and the password is set in the same way. Generally, to make it very easy for the employee to start up, the password what I've been creating for the dot work or the other account, the same password will be maintained for even the Skype and the Dropbox account and the Podio account. Clear? Okay.
Okay.
So that multiple passwords, they would not be able to remember, and each time they cannot go and check their thing. After we create the Skype account, the Skype account need to be tested, and then I what exactly do is, I use my Skype account and export the address book. Okay, so you can go to the the Skype account, export the address book, and then import it back to the new employee. But after import it back, I think you need to ensure that you delete the unwanted, the Skype account which will appear on the employee Skype account.
Okay.
Clear? Then we create a
Yes.
Dropbox account. As I mentioned, Dropbox, even though I think we have come up with a new process of creating the Dropbox account, sharing using the Mark's Dropbox account, we still need to create a Dropbox account for them. So make sure you create a Dropbox account for them with the same credential and using the .work Gmail account. Okay,
Yes.
clear? Okay,
All right.
and if they need an access to the portal, you need to first find out maybe from Joy or even from Ash, what portal access they need to. Do they need to go to the Sky 11? They need to log in for the signature part, or do they need a login for even the signature park staging or development environment? Based on the requirement, you got to create an account for them on these portal sites. Clear?
Okay. All right.
Then after you create a Podio account, you will be creating the account Podio account using the dot work, and there will be a verification required. So that's why I keep open the Gmail account for the before creating the Podio account, because wherever you are using the Gmail account, there is a verification is required. So you can log into the Gmail account and verify the account, so that the staff need not go on looking to verify the email address. That means everything is set. The verification also is been done. Okay. So once you create a
Okay.
Podio account, and there will be a link. What you do is, when you create a Podio account, once you create a Podio account for them, this is how I do. I go to one of the workspace here. Let's say go to Innom Global. Okay, I go and add them. Like this is, as I said before, there are some workspaces that's the minimum they should have, like a Innom Global, and also the what you call company notice board. So I just start with this. I go and invite the new staff and the email address. I just first give them the, I first use the Gmail account here and change them the access level here and then add them. Okay. After I add them, automatically their account will be created and there will be an email coming to the Gmail account. And I go to the Gmail account, I click on that. That is an invitation. Okay. So once I click on that account, it will take me to another page where I just key in their full name and the password be set there. Okay. The password will not be set here and it will be set when you invite them. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. So after their account is created, then I make sure log into their account and see that their account is created. Then I go to the settings. Okay, I go to the account settings. There are some basic settings need to be done. Okay, so make sure that time zone is properly set and the verified email is verified there. And if you go to the emails and notification, this is very important because otherwise they would be getting a lot of notification. I uncheck all this. I keep only one actually. Okay, this is I kept it myself. Otherwise they will not have this also. They will only have a daily digest. Okay,
Okay.
that means when I set this here, they would be getting an email, daily digest email from the Podio stating what are their tasks that need to be done and the reminder. Okay, so I don't check any of these. Okay, unless there is a specific reason that you wanted to be done. But in my case, I check this because I wanted to be reminded. I have some tasks set as a reminder. Okay.
Well, I think the user must be informed about this one.
The I set them the basic one,
Mhm.
and also if they have anything need to be clarified here, you can clarify them, and they can use it with their preference.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
so the
in my
standard.
case, I was not informed about this option.
Okay,
So
fine.
I'm only receiving what was initially set. So
Okay,
for new users, I think it's important that we inform them that they have option to modify the email notification settings.
can they can modify according to their preference. Okay.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so this is very important because otherwise they will have problem. Okay, so I'm coming back now. So after that has been done, so as I said before, there are some basic workspaces you need to give them the access to. You can go on add them to the each of those workspaces. Okay, after you doing that, and you'll have to create a workspace for them. One is for the individual task space, and another one is a sandbox, and another one is a PDF.
Mhm.
Okay, or the permanent stop. Okay, and the
Okay.
rest of the workspaces, you need to understand based on their role, what workspaces they need access to. Okay, the example, some staff may not need access to the Hampton Peak. Maybe some may not need this business housing agency, a referral, all these things. Okay, so you need to ensure that based on their role, what access they need to which workspace.
Okay, for each workspaces that we are creating for a new staff, who will
Mhm.
be the default admins?
Yeah, you have to go and add to the each of the workspace. There is no global adding. As I said before, there's only global removal. You can remove a person from the organization, but you cannot add somebody globally to all the workspaces. There is no such thing.
Lawrence, I mean when we create, for example, the individual task space for a new user,
Sorry,
who
come
will
again.
be
Not clear.
default admins that we set for that task space?
Not clear, JP. Can you come again?
For example, we will be creating individual task space,
Hmm.
and who do we assign as default admins for that new workspace?
Okay, I mentioned this to you before also. The basic admin access people should have is one is you because you are an administrator access you have, then
Mm-hmm.
Mark Naidu, and then use.
Okay.
Okay,
Only
and
three accounts.
sometimes
All right.
sometimes if anybody says that I want to be an admin for that workspace like a Joy or Ash or someone, and you can give them the admin workspace, admin access. Because with the admin access, they can even go and create, change, and do anything with that workspace. Clear?
Okay, go on, please.
Okay. So then you create a workspace, as I said, actually individual task space and a sandbox that need to be created for them. The PDS also. After you create a PDS, and you will inform use that you have created a PDS for them, and then you are ensure that your admin access will be removed from their PDS workspace. Okay,
Okay.
clear? Yeah. So uh, So after this, I log in again to their email and log in again to their Podio account just to make sure that they have access to the workspaces which I wanted to give them access to ensure that. Okay. So coming back, any questions on the Podio setup?
None, Lawrence.
Okay. I'm taking yours as an example again. Okay. Uh, it's already here access, and Podio Scratchpad also I covered for PDS workspace. And if it is a new computer, actually, sometimes if you are giving them the new computer, you need to ensure that you create a Windows login account for them. Okay. And that is also when you create a login account, Windows login account, you should use the first name dot last name and the password that you have been using for them for the account. Okay. And
Okay.
if there is a new laptop, ensure that they have the uh, uh, the MS Office or Office 365 installed on their machine. Okay.
Okay.
And then set up an Outlook. Okay. So when you're setting up an Outlook for them, you got to access their machine and set up the three email accounts. That's the Global Portal and HP account. And also ensure do as send and receive and be a test account for them actually that ensure that it's working. And when you are actually setting up an Outlook account, you also need to create an email signature for them. There are templates which is available in the respective template library for each of the workspaces like global portal and the thing. You can take those templates and create an email signature for them. And uh, you need to get a confirmation what mobile number should be on the email address, because sometimes they would be using the previously the company mobile, and you're thinking that that's a mobile number they would be using, and don't create a signature using that account, but ensure 100% they have a correct email address. That is the email, that is the mobile number they want to use it on the Outlook.
Okay.
Okay. uh, I covered the install MS Office and Skype account. I have covered form stack. We no longer need actually. So make sure we had before. Now we don't have it. So Mailchimp account, again. Mailchimp account is the exclusive account that based on the need we can go and create an account in the Mailchimp. Here also by invitation, that you cannot create an account straight away. You got to go and log into the Mailchimp account and invite that person using the email address. And I generally use for the Mailchimp, I use the portal. Okay?
Portal email, sorry.
Yeah, portal email. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, Team viewer, actually this will be you doing as a part of the tool setup. Before you start with the stuff, because you will be accessing the machine using the team viewer, and ensure that the hours is working on the machine. As I said, the registration to be set up and it should be working. Sometimes what happens is they tend to have more than one antivirus, that will conflict and they will have an issues and all those things. Ensure there is only one antivirus working on the machine. Okay. The
Okay.
Dropbox success I talked about. You have to create a Dropbox account for them, and no need to create a shared folder. Earlier, we used to create a shared folder for each of the staffs, and we need to share it with the other employees. But now it is not required because we are asking Mark to create a shared folder for them. That shared folder will be accessed by the employee.
Okay.
And the Viber they should have on their PC. That's standard. And the AirParrot and the Skype MP3 recording. Skype MP3 recording actually is we put it on the desktop so that easy for them to go and take look at it any recording that they want to take it from there and store it into the Podio task. Okay.
Okay.
Then install. This is a freeware actually. Low bit malware scanner is a freeware, and don't buy any the paid version for this. Okay. Then the extensions, we already know that the Google Android, Chrome extension, and all these things extensions to be created. Office 365 you need to set up. I don't know whether you still have an admin access. We'll check with you whether you have an admin access to create a user. I have an admin access, but I cannot allocate a license. Okay, the allocation of license is done by use. Okay, I can create an set an Office 365 account, but I request use to allocate a license because license is a paid license, so it depends on the money. Okay,
Okay.
clear. And we use the Hinom Global email account to create the
Lawrence,
Office
sorry.
365.
For
Hello.
Office 365, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So after I created a login for a new user, I
Mm-hmm.
will ask you to assign a license. Is that
Correct.
correct?
Let me give you an example. Okay, if this is my Office 365. Okay. Uh, if I click Office 365 here, let me log in. Here, if you look at here, there is the thing called admin. If you have this on your Office 365, should be able to go to the admin here. Do you have that button, the window?
Let me, let me check now.
Okay.
I don't think I have it. No, Lawrence, I don't see that button.
Okay. That means we need to ask you that you get an admin access. I will check with that. Okay.
Okay.
Please bear with me. Okay. Okay, we are on the Office 365, right? Okay, if you look at my Office 365 here, I have this option to go to the admin and then I go to the users. Okay, then I go to the active users. Okay. This is where I add the user. This is where I actually, edit the user detail and reset password. Sometimes people will say, please reset my password. This is where I do it.
Okay.
Okay. So I can add an user, but I cannot allocate a license. Without the license, they would not be able to access the Office 365. Okay. Coming back
Okay.
to the checklist here, this is the QuickBooks and applicable only to the finance people. Okay. Uh, okay. After I create all the the login IDs and all those things, I actually create a Word document. I don't know whether you been given a Word document when they started the orientation.
Yes.
GP. Okay. That Word document actually the list of all the accounts, we have listed and what you need to do, what is your password and what's your login ID and all. But that document need to be destroyed after the bond orientation is done, the day one. They are not supposed to store it in the Dropbox, store it in their machines. No. Okay, please ensure that they will destroy that after the orientation is done. That's just a temporary document. Okay, make it easy for them. Okay, because
Okay.
someone will be doing the orientation and they will not be able to get everything together at one place. This is to facilitate the person who is actually doing the training or the orientation, asking the staff on the first day to log into the each of them. That should be done on the very first and the very beginning. So they'll go check all the credentials are working fine. Okay, they are satisfied. Now destroy the after like a burn after reading. Okay, so that document need to be prepared and I you have the copy of the document. It's just a simple document, the Word document listing out all the accounts. Okay, any
Okay.
questions on that?
None.
Okay, so after even the join the day one actually, so one is we talked about the pre-commencement IT setup and the next one is
Lawrence?
yeah.
Lawrence? Yeah, I just need to drop off from this call already. I need to
Okay,
move out. Can you just summarize all the deliverables as usual in the Skype group and update the
sure,
Scrum
sure,
board as well?
sure.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Bye, guys.
thanks.
Thanks, Ash.
Okay, uh,
Bye.
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 Okay. After the pre-commencement, we have a commencement IT. Okay, the commencement IT basically to ensure, like, the when they let me just take your example here. Okay, uh, this will be mostly the operations, but little bit of IT is involved here. That's why it's called IT here. The laptop, the LAN cable, the mobile phone. Actually, when they came in on come on the first day, we need to ensure that they have installed the apps, Viber and WhatsApp and all those apps actually. So literally, we check their mobile and make sure that they install it on the mobile phone. Okay. So you can actually check with the operations person to get a confirmation saying that yes, they have installed it. And Google Calendar, actually, Google Calendar basically the operation person will help them out. Alma did it for you. Basically, what they do is they log into your Google account, they go to the Google Calendar and create the Google Calendar for each of the company, Innom Global, Innom Portal, and Hampton Peak. After they create it actually like this, after they create the Google Calendar, they need to share it actually. If they don't share it, then it will not be available to the other people. Okay, but when they're sharing it, they have to keep in mind that just going to the settings actually, just show you the basic settings here. After they share it actually, they need to okay, why are this there? Okay, let me check. Okay, they need to make sure that all this local settings are done on their machine and share this calendar. When they're sharing it, they need to ensure that make changes and managing sharing is selected. Okay, that is because like I can edit your calendar, you can edit my calendar right now, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So this will actually enable the editing option for the other people. Suppose you are actually on leave and you have created some calendar. If I don't have a sharing and manage and sharing, I can't delete it. I can't do any editing on that. So that's why make sure that they have the sharing, changes and manage sharing is actually selected.
Okay.
Okay. And here also there is a format followed here for each of the calendar, first name, last name, and the calendar name. If you look at here, each thing has a certain thing. Okay, they will have one personal calendar set up for them, and they have a company calendar set up for them. There are some generic calendar that need to be shared with them. Okay? Example, uh, if you go to here, the public holiday and staff away calendar that should be shared to the new employee, and
Okay.
team for your information generic calendar to be shared with them. Okay? Coming back now to the yeah, fast tone capture, all this part of the tools actually. Again, you can do this the day when they come in actually and install WhatsApp on the desktop. All these things can be done on the commencement day. Okay, configure of the email. Sometimes I do configuration, before they come in also. If I have an access to their laptop. If they don't have a totally access, maybe they are using the company laptop, previous company, and they need to come again and buy a laptop or something like that. So I will do it on the day when they come in. Okay. Any questions here?
No question, Lawrence.
Okay. I will move to the next. Commencement finance is not our thing. So operations, partly I think you are involved, but Ash will be helping on the operation side of it. So mostly this is about the IT. Okay. This is about the IT for the onboarding. Now I'm going to cover the offboarding, right? See, the offboarding, what I do is exactly the opposite, the reverse. That's it. Uh, when I do offboarding operation, there is no offboarding IT here app. I don't know why, but it's a part of the operations. Okay, let's check Alma's one. Okay. Okay, what I do is I actually, when I'm doing the IT offboarding, I go to my onboarding IT checklist. I actually get a feel of what are the email account I created for this employee, what are the access she had, everything. I make sure that, and then I come back and check Office 365. Okay. Generally, after you create the
Okay.
all the credentials, you need to ensure you update the Office 365 with the credentials. Okay. I covered that before you how to create the actually, but you need to ensure that you create an account for them, adding their name first to the employee name and the role. The role is not available. Add the role, and after that you start creating the credentials for each of the login you have created for them. Okay, I go back and check now. If I go to the Global, okay, maybe let's say, practically my offboarding. Okay, you go to password directory, okay, then you say Lawrence. This will give me an idea of what are the password that actually I own it here. You go here, these passwords I have, and then the email accounts I have here. Okay, I follow this literally. First, I follow the checklist which I created, started for the uh, onboarding as a guide for me. Okay. I use this actually, the pre-commencement IT checklist. This will give me a guide of what accounts I have created for this particular employee. Okay. Then I reverse all those things. When actually doing the offboarding, first is on the last day. On the last day, you have to ensure that you forward the email address to the delegated person and also change the password. First, you change the password and then forward it so that the employee leaving will not have access to any of those, the any of those tools or any of the machines. Okay.
Okay.
And also, apart from the reversing of all the passwords and everything, we also ensure that we clean up the machine. Okay, we audit the machine basically. So before you audit, if there are any confidential item, use will actually log into their machine and check all the confidential information is removed. Sometimes employee may keep their offer letter on the desktop and all those things. Once that is cleared, then you can get an access to their laptop and ensure that the all the documents that is moved to the Dropbox. That means from the local to something they have not moved to the from the local machine to the Dropbox. Make sure that it is being moved, including their PST file. Sometimes if the PST file we needed to check because we may have to check their emails actually. That's a call on the before and the day they are going out. Take that PST file also and store it in the Dropbox. Okay.
Okay.
So any questions on that?
No question.
Okay. So basically, the IT, that's the upboarding. There will be a IT part of it. So we will closely work with the operations guys and ensure that all the IT things involved here is done completed. Okay.
Okay.
Clear? You can ask me any questions you have anything on the onboarding or offboarding.
No, I don't have any right now.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. And I will put the video into the task there. Okay.
Yes. Thank you,
Okay.
Lawrence.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
JP. Okay. Thanks. Bye.